Come on. There we go. Now we're live, Rabs. What's going on, my friend? It's episode 6 of the Youth Gaming Podcast. And I sound a little bit weird. I'm using a different headset. We discussed that already, but different headset. It's a fucked up situation. So, anyway, Rabs, what's going on, my friend?
No, look, man, keep quiet. E3 was tasty. I'm on something similar to a drug-filled come down.
Yeah, dude, it's a very, very good E3 in my opinion. Very, very good in my opinion. Dude, there's so much to talk about, like in terms of what happened at E3. What was your highlight? Your highlight of E3?
My highlight was Battlefront. I sort of had to sort it into sort of 3 categories. There was my favourite game, what would I say, the best conference, the best sort of company conference, and then you had your console conference. That was the sort of 3 categories that I was putting them into. Battlefront took the game, but that's just me being biased. I've been fairly pumped for that game ever since I heard about it. I think Bethesda took the best conference. Fucking hands down, absolutely no question about it. And I think Xbox won it with regards to the consoles, the console conferences.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, man. Like I'm looking at it like this. Like I told you, I wrote everything down, dude. Like I've got a list of everything. Bethesda, if you missed it, they had Doom, which is a complete bloodlust of a game, and I love it. Absolutely love it. They introduced Elder Scrolls Legends, which is like kind of like Hearthstone, but for Bethesda and Elder Scrolls. Dishonored 2 was announced, which I talked about that a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty excited about Dishonored 2. Fallout 4, the Fallout Shelter, which is an iOS game, and then Battlecry, which looks like an MMO for PC.
Yeah.
It was just like it's solid. You know, they had something for everybody.
And considering it was the first one.
Yeah, they came out and killed it for their first ever conference at E3. I mean, they've always been there showing shit, but this time they absolutely killed it. So very happy with that. And Microsoft, they did the whole backwards compatibility. Like it just feels like Microsoft wants Xbox to be a Steam box.
Sorry, say again.
It feels like Microsoft wants the Xbox to become a competitor to Steam Box rather than a competitor to the PlayStation 4. I mean, being able to add mods, the whole Windows 10 compatibility, early access, it feels like that's what they're kind of pushing toward. But hey, man, it works out. It works out.
No, I totally agree.
But the new controller and the new hard drive is very good for Xbox fans. Very good.
Hard drive for Xbox doesn't really affect me though, because I mean I went out and bought a 3 terabyte hard drive anyway. It cost me £60, and I've pumped a shitload onto that, and I've still got 2.5 terabytes left.
Yeah. See, like I need to do something with the PlayStation, man. I'm still extremely low on my use there. It's down to like 60 gigs, and after E3, I want to need all 60 of that plus a ton more. You know what I mean? Like there's so many good games coming out. Like I have the calendar. I don't know if I told you that or not. I made a calendar.
A calendar?
Yeah, on my computer to show me what games are coming out when.
Oh, that's a good idea, man.
I'll actually pull it up here on my phone because it pushes to my phone. Let's see. We have on the 14th, God of War Remastered comes out. On the 23rd, Batman comes out. So Batman, God of War Remastered on the 14th. Then you get into August, and you have the definitive edition of Dishonored, which is just a remake, comes out on the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Then into September, you have Mad Max, Metal Gear Solid 5, the Rainbow Six Siege beta comes out on the 24th. September 29th, the new Tony Hawk comes out. Let's see, then on the 6th of October, you have Guitar Hero Live. The 9th of October, you have the Uncharted game. Rainbow Six Siege comes out the 13th. On the 20th, you have Need for Speed. The 27th is WWE 2K16. The 23rd is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Then in November, you have 3, followed by Fallout 4 4 days later, and then a week after that, you have Battlefront. And I know for a fact I'm missing a couple games in there, like Rock Band comes out sometime in October.
Yeah. But it's like you were talking about with the backwards compatibility thing. I mean,
yeah.
what if they decide to release or to put, you know, Gears of War on there, and we're sort of being force fed an Ultimate Edition with Gears 4?
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening. I mean, it's just, it all depends on how it plays out. Like I said, the backwards compatibility has to be a Microsoft-approved game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you can just approve anything you want. It has to be approved by Microsoft.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know whether you seen it earlier on, but I put a tweet out earlier on, and basically Microsoft have opened up a voting poll, and there's 78 pages on there full of games that you can vote on that you want to be in or to be considered for the backwards compatibility.
Huh. Hey, that's good then. At least they're listening to consumer feedback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when I checked it this afternoon, the most popular title was Red Dead Redemption.
No, yeah, of course, that game's huge.
And that was swiftly followed by Black Ops 2.
Yeah, that's understandable. I can see that. Black Ops 2 being the second most popular game.
If you give me, oh, here we go. Right, I've got it here. I'm just going to open this up, and we'll see where we are in the voting. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption leads. The top 10 is Red Dead Redemption with 25,000 votes, followed by Black Ops 2 with 22,000 votes. Skyrim's third with 21.5. Then it's Halo Reach with 18.5. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, followed by Gears of War 3, Call of Duty Black Ops, Fallout 3, Call of Duty 4, Mass Effect 3. And the next ones are sort of Bioshock Infinite, Fallout New Vegas, Mass Effect 2, Modern Warfare 3, GTA 4, Left 4 Dead 2, Gears of War 2.
Well, I mean, yeah, at least they're listening to the consumer. You know what I mean? At least they're giving the consumer it might just be the perception of the fact they're listening, but at least they're trying.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you've pretty much got, it's Call of Duty, Gears of War, Mass Effect,
and Bethesda games.
Pretty much, aye. So that sort of gives you an idea. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tweet this link again.
Yeah, I pulled it up on your timeline. I'll go ahead and retweet it as well. Following me, that's an Xbox user. Click that link. Go to the games you want for backwards compatibility. Rabs, I want to say this, man, and it kills me to say this, but you got shit on very publicly at E3.
I did.
Yes, you did. You did. Do you remember? I believe it was episode 2 of the You Suck Gaming podcast. And in fact, I actually put it in the best of montage. Which, if you guys haven't seen the best of montage on my channel, go watch it. It's like 28 minutes of hilarious clips from the You Suck Gaming podcast for episodes 1 through 5. Shameless plug. But you said you wanted a GoldenEye remake.
Well, a GoldenEye remake, yeah, but it needed to be. It was actually a friend of mine, Blue Pipe. You'll know him because you want him on the podcast. But it was him that pointed out that there already has been one, but it was something more along the lines of what was the original one for the N64. You know, the same levels, the same sort of design that way.
Yeah, but anyway. Let's get to the point real quick, and we'll let you finish this. Rare, the creators of GoldenEye for Nintendo 64, came out with a rare replay of 30 games for $30 and left that game out.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So you were shit on with that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll give you credit. You called that, and it was almost there. It almost happened.
Yeah. It's very mixed reviews with that Rare. I noticed on Twitter a lot of people calling them lazy, just bringing out this sort of remake collection.
Yeah, kind of is. The only thing that I've seen that was that drew attention to me, or was relevant to me, was the Battletoads and Perfect Dark.
Yeah. There was a sequel to Perfect Dark, wasn't there? That was utter shite.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. Perfect Dark was great. Perfect Dark 2 was absolute ass. Let me think. Let me actually look through this. We talked about Microsoft just a little bit with the backwards compatibility, the new control. Obviously, Halo 5. Everyone knew that was coming out. We got to see gameplay on it. It looked pretty good. It looked like Halo. Forza 6, another fucking racing game.
That's all Forza was, just another racing game.
They announced Fable, which we all kind of had the thought that it was coming out. They've talked about it for a while now. If you get Fallout 4, you get to add mods to Fallout 4 next year. And Fallout 3 and New Vegas, or at least Fallout 3, I don't know about New Vegas, but Fallout 3 comes with Fallout 4 because of backwards compatibility.
Yep.
So that's good.
That's a bit like Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's just the same as Rainbow Six Vegas. You get 1 and 2 if you get Siege.
Yeah. That's not a pre-order bonus, is it?
No, it's not a pre-order bonus. It's just if you buy Rainbow Six on
you get the free download.
Xbox One, you get Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, that's all that is. They're doing early access now, so you can pay for unfinished games and then complain about how broken they are.
Yep. So we're officially as bad as PC.
Yeah, they're going the way of the PC. Like I said, I think that they want the Xbox to compete with Steambox rather than Sony at this point, because the Xbox is very, very, very similar to a PC or PC gaming. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? It's very similar. It's essentially PC runs on Windows, Xbox runs on Windows. They run the same games, so it makes sense that they want it to compete with Steam, because Steambox could ultimately hurt Xbox even more than it's already hurting after the Xbox One.
Yeah.
But they touched on the Windows 10. There we go. We got a Fred now. What's going on, friend?
What's happening?
Hey, buddy.
Oh, not a whole.
Sorry I'm late, guys. Fashionably late as always.
It's good, man. You're here this week. That's all that matters. even in your absence, you're always here in our hearts.
Ah, well, isn't that nice?
We were touching on. we were touching on Microsoft's conference, the backwards compatibility, the controller, Halo 5. Like I said, the games, a lot of the games we were kind of expecting. Gears 4 we know is next year. The Tomb Raider thing's been announced for a while. What was that? Fred, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Rabs. We got Rabs too? Everyone here?
Yeah, I'm still here, man. Still here.
Still here.
Okay. Yeah, we were kind of lagging a little bit there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So come on, what were you talking about?
Yeah, anyway, that Microsoft announced they weren't like really big shockers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I felt like Microsoft conference was a good conference. Don't get me wrong, and I think it was good purely if you are a Microsoft fan. So if you like Halo, if you like Forza, if you like Gears, obviously you're going to enjoy that conference a hell of a lot more than what, say, someone like me is. Because I'm not a big Halo fan. I've played it. I'm not a big fan, and Gears as well, and Forza's another story. But yeah, I think if you're a fan of them games, Microsoft definitely done well.
Yeah, Microsoft, they did do good. Like the backwards compatibility, the controller, that's huge for them.
Yeah, the controller looked interesting. I'd like to see how much that's going to go for.
It leaked on Amazon for $90 in Canada.
$90.
So I'm assuming, $90 in Canada, which equivalates to $75 American dollars.
Right.
So we'll be paying about £50, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it being much more than that. Because there's outside of the paddles and the joysticks and the little customizing things that you can do to it, I don't see it being on par with Scuf, like with the trigger stops. And I think that ultimately, like it's just going to make Scuf better. It's going to make better competition. I just think it's going to be good all around for everybody.
It has got the trigger stops.
Does it have the trigger stops on the Xbox One?
Yeah, basically it's called a half trigger thing. Basically, I don't know if you noticed on the advert itself, it had a little switch, and basically one would be full trigger, and you could switch it across so it's only half trigger.
Oh, okay, that works then.
Yeah, so it works like trigger stops.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So I know, Rabs, you enjoyed it.
As far as the controller's concerned, competing with Scuf can only be a good thing for the consumer, I think.
Of course.
Having a direct competitor that are creating their own sort of paddle controller.
It is funny you say that, because I don't actually use Scuf. I have bought a Scuf controller in the past, but I don't actually use. I use one called a Shark controller, Shark with the Q, and I love them. I've got one for my 360, PS4, and Xbox One. I love their controllers. They're about £30 to £40 cheaper, but I do feel like they call them fins. It's like it's quite good with the paddles on the back, but they're a lot wider, so they're much better in my opinion. But yeah, It can only be good for the consumer, price wise, competition, that sort of thing. So it's the Elite controllers. It's definitely a step in the right direction for Microsoft. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's get your reaction on Bethesda. I want to hear what you have to say about Bethesda.
Are you talking to all of us or me personally?
You specifically, afraid not.
I thought my thoughts of Bethesda's press conference, it was really strong. I mean, I like I can never say it. Bethesda, is that right?
Yeah.
I'm not a massive crazy fan of any of their games, really. I mean, I liked Skyrim for what it was. I didn't like Oblivion. It was one of my first games for 360. I didn't like it. But Skyrim I really liked. At the moment, I'm really into Elder Scrolls Online, so that's sort of giving me even more hope with like a Bethesda game. I love Dishonored. That was a good game. I really enjoyed my time with that. And obviously, I mean, I've never played Fallout for Fallout is. I've never played Fallout 3 or New Vegas. I'm sort of just started Fallout 3, but I've just managed to get working on my PC, so that's another story. But I thought they had a really good, really strong first performance on E3.
I was saying to Beast earlier on, he was asking me for my general thoughts on on E3 in general, and I had sort of subcategorised it into three. I've already touched on this, but I'll touch on it again just because you're here. I put it into sort of the game, the game of the E3, the sort of developers conference, and then the console conference.
Yeah.
And for me, as you're probably well aware, Battlefront took the game for me. I thought Bethesda were the strongest of the developer conferences, and I thought Xbox's was the stronger of the sort of console conference.
Of the two. Yeah. No, I do agree with that. I think Bethesda, because they showed every single game that they showed and everything that they showed, I felt like it was a good game. Like Doom. I mean, I'm not a big Doom fan again, but like all them games that they showed, I would definitely play this year. Do you know what I mean? Every single one of them. Sorry, it sounds like you're dipping out. Beast?
Have we lost him?
Have we lost him?
But what I was saying, afraid, I was, he's just put in the chat, can't you read it? No, basically, I've got the backwards compatibility, the Xbox feedback. They've asked people to go on and vote for games that they want on, and the top 10: Red Dead Redemption, Black Ops 2, Skyrim, Halo Reach, Modern Warfare 2, Gears of War 3, Black Ops, Fallout 3, Modern Warfare 4. It goes on: Mass Effect 3, Bioshock Infinite, Fallout New Vegas, Mass Effect 2, Modern Warfare 3. So that is generally Call of Duty and Bethesda. It's pretty much what everybody wants in the backwards compatibility by the looks of things.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Are you not at home, Beast?
No, I'm in a hotel. I went to work. Monday Monday, and I was out of town, so I'm in a hotel. I'm using my phone as a hotspot because the connection in this hotel is shit.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, we seem to be good now. Everything seems to be working properly. We're not glitching out and lagging anymore. Hopefully, it doesn't reflect in the video. If it does, we'll just redo this whole fucking podcast in the near future. So whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Continue. No, all I was going to say is I was just going to ask you what you thought of the Bethesda, the conference. What you thought overall.
I thought Bethesda was extremely strong. Simply for the fact that they're coming out with Elder Scrolls Legends, which is an answer to Hearthstone finally.
Yeah.
The Dishonored Definitive Edition and Dishonored 2 was announced, which is huge for me because I thought Dishonored 1 was an incredible game, and I'm ready to play it on this generation of console just because of how good it can look.
Yeah.
Battlecry looks like a unique game. I think it's going to be PC only, but it looks unique. And then, of course, you have Doom and Fallout 4, which blew my mind.
Yeah, I think, I really like the look of Doom, to be fair.
The is it Snap Map? Is it Snap Map that comes with Doom, where you can create your own maps and stuff?
Yeah. The Snap Map, yeah.
It's an absolutely fantastic idea, I think. Absolutely fantastic idea.
I just think they were really strong, man. Like the whole Bethesda conference was strong. Like they're not I'm not big fans of all their games, but every single game, as I say, I would play. Every single one they showed.
Yeah.
That's why I think it was really strong because of that. And they put it across really well as well. I mean, Fallout 4. I mean, I've never played Fallout, but the hype. I mean, I'm feeling a little bit of the hype, Like the whole creating, like destructing little things in the world, and then creating your own base, and it just looks immense.
Is there not something like 700 variations?
Yeah, modifications for you.
700 mods.
I mean that's going to take about 100 hours just to get through.
You never get through them. I guarantee you, no one will ever get through every single one of them.
In fact, I guarantee you it'll be a rare trophy on PS4.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but it'll be a gold.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Fallout 4, and it's going to be a very expensive week. Because you got Fallout 4 on the 10th, and then you got Battlefront on the 17th. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Starting in September, you have like Mad Max, then you have Metal Gear Solid 5 and Tony Hawk 5. FIFA coming out.
FIFA's for me in September. That's always my first buy. That's when I know that holiday season starts. As soon as FIFA comes out, that's when it starts.
Then you have in October, you have like I think 4 or 5 different games that I talked about, and then in November, like the first 3 weeks, you have Black Ops 3 coming out. Fallout 4 4 days later. And then you have Battlefront a week after that.
Yeah, that's mad.
So even if you're not a fan of pre-ordering, now would be the time to pre-order everything and pay it off slowly. Otherwise, you're not going to have any money.
Yeah.
So all right, we touched on Bethesda. Hold on a second. We touched on Bethesda. We touched on Microsoft. Is there anything you want to add about Microsoft?
Microsoft, there's not really much for me to add personally. I mean, I wasn't as impressed as what a lot of people who I follow and who I talk to. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's really strong," and I can understand why. But for me, I'm not a big Gears fan. I'm not a big Halo fan. I'm definitely not a Forza fan after the last one. So, I mean, I love Forza Horizon 2. That was my favourite game of last year, funny enough. But Forza 5 was just abysmal. It was terrible.
I think. I think. We could. I think because the amount of heat that EA has, they got all the shit saying, "Oh, it's just Battlefront, something else," and in their usual sports title, yawn, yawn, yawn.
Yeah.
To some degree, I suppose you could maybe even say the same about Microsoft. You know, it's Halo, it's Gears, it's
yeah.
You know, it's just they're just reverting back to that.
It's just annoying because they announce Crackdown last year. We've heard nothing of that. I mean, it's not a game I like, but a lot of people do like Crackdown, and they announced that last year, and there's not been a peep about it. Like, I don't understand what's happened, because that would have been a game to bring out, and there was another game as well, which is Xbox. Was it? Oh, what's it called? It was like a fighting game by the looks of it. Quantum Break, I think it's called.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Like, why didn't they touch up on that either? It's just like, well, I thought last year, I think Xbox done better than what they did this year, but then that's me. So
because remember that Quantum thing, they were going to have, like, was it a running series alongside that? Was it like a webisodes or something like that? They were going to run along the side of that game. So
what I haven't heard both of you say yet, or mention at all, about the Microsoft conference was VR. Did you
talk about it?
Man, it looked amazing. Let's be honest. If it worked like that, then it would be amazing.
Yeah, me and Beast were in a Skype call. We were just sort of chatting with each other. We were watching the conferences and just chatting as it was happening. And oh man, what a laugh we were having with that. The Minecraft with the VR.
Yeah, but if it actually works if it works in practice just like that, can you imagine how good and what the possibilities could be with that? I mean, it was impressive. For me, it was impressive anyway.
But I mean, it was impressive, but I think it's too far ahead of where gaming is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
correct.
I think it's too much of a leap.
Yeah.
PlayStation tried it with the Vita. Okay, PlayStation tried it with the Vita, and it was a cool feature, but it was very flat. It felt very short. It was just like I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do agree.
Outside of Minecraft, what would be the benefits of having that?
Well, I'll tell you where
Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, Minecraft it worked really well with, and I mean, possibly maybe something like Battlefield where you got battle log, or you know what it is, the commander thing. Maybe that would work pretty well. You see the actual whole map of what's going on, and maybe that'd be pretty cool. And with your VR headset, you can drop care packages on the map and things like that. I think that'd be pretty cool for Battlefield. I don't know what you think.
I think it'd look cool for Battlefield, but I'm just going to go out and say this. I went on a limb. I think that people using the headset, the VR headset, would be a lot like people using selfie sticks. Like, you see them from across the way, and you're like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, but there's the same with the Wii, I suppose. The Wii and Kinect.
Yeah, it really is.
But I feel like we have. I do feel like we had to touch up on that just a bit, because that is quite innovative. And whether or not it's any good, I still feel like it's quite innovative. And if it's a reasonable price, I don't see why I wouldn't pick one up. You know?
Yeah, the HoloLens.
It is gimmicky.
Yeah, it's gimmicky as shit, but everybody has one now. I mean, you have HoloLens from Microsoft, you have the Oculus Rift, and then you have Sony's Project Morpheus, which they just kind of touched on, dabbled with, because I don't even think that's even close to beta yet.
Yeah. No, I get it, yeah.
I mean, it's a direction that things are going, and I appreciate that, and I see it for what it is, but I think it's more of a gimmicky thing. Like you said, it's a gimmick, but it's supposed to draw in, like, the younger generation, or maybe just, like, a handful of, like, super nerds, which is fine with me. I just don't see it having much appeal to the hardcore gamer, much like the Kinect. You know what I mean? It was like people wanted it for their kids, and then super hardcore nerds wanted it for the games that they played very rarely. But the hardcore and the general demographic just kind of like pushed to the wayside, like no one gave a shit. Yeah.
No, I agree, and I do feel like it will be the same. But it was pretty cool. Like I think I probably said that the Kinect was pretty cool when it was first announced. You know, and look how it is now. It's like frowned upon. It's like it's like the cancer of Xbox, by the.
It's going to be one of those things. It's either going to be explosive and huge, or explosive, fall flat, and cost the company a ton of money.
Yeah. But it's them taking risks, and I do appreciate that, trying to be a little bit different. I appreciate that from Microsoft. I do appreciate that.
Now, I don't know if you were here when I brought this up, but do you feel like Xbox is trying to compete now with Steambox rather than PlayStation 4?
Yes and no. I mean, they're still pushing Xbox Ones. I think they're selling a lot more because of the fact that they're lowering their price every week.
But I mean, you look at.
I do think Xbox One, they're still trying to push.
You look at the early access. You look at the Windows 10 integration. It just seems like they're trying to compete with Steam a little bit more than they are with Sony right now.
Yeah, but then I think that's a bad business move, because you're never going to compete with Steam, the Steam boxes. I don't think anyone can.
No.
That's a market that only Steam and maybe someone who's specialist, not the console market. It's not. It's different. They're two totally different markets, and I don't think you can compete against them.
Yeah, no. I agree. Let's see. Raps.
Still here.
Yeah, you're still here. EA. We're moving on to EA. We touched on Microsoft. We can all agree that Microsoft was the winner of the console conferences, correct?
Yeah.
By a fine margin, I will say yes. Purely because of the controller, backwards compatibility, which I could arguably say, it should have been with the console, but I won't touch on it too much. But yeah, I'll say marginally, Xbox won it. I'll yield.
It's like I said earlier. I think you missed this too, but Microsoft didn't have the cushion that Sony had in terms of what they could and couldn't talk about. They had to come out swinging and immediately hit hard. Otherwise, it was going to fall flat and hurt them even more than they already were.
They had to have a strong E3. They had to. They had no other choice but to have a strong E3.
Sony had the advantage of being able to talk solely on games and didn't have to give you specifics and details regarding the console, where I feel like Microsoft did.
Yeah.
But Microsoft marginally won the consoles. Bethesda clearly on the developer side. But I want to touch about how flat and boring EA was.
Okay.
That was to be expected, though.
EA for me is the same every year. I mean, you get your Madden announcements, you get your NFL, your hockey, your FIFA, you get all of that. But for me, they showed by far the best thing that they could have throughout the whole weekend. I'm sorry, but Battlefront for me, I've watched today alone probably 5 times. I probably watched it 10 yesterday. Like that trailer or that gameplay, I've dissected every little bit. Maybe because I'm a Star Wars fan, but I thought that they couldn't have done that gameplay trailer any better than they did.
No, I agree.
I would say that's fair.
I agree.
And I don't think there's any way of doing that any better than they did, and I feel like, for me, it actually made me smile the whole way through that. The whole way through it, I was constant grin for it, and I was just like, this is fucking cool. Like, this is...
Yeah. Me and Raz were hype about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean...
I just feel like EA started strong, and then they just kind of went to a comfort zone that really didn't wow anybody until Battlefront.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, poor fucking Pele, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting trailed out in front of a live audience to tell people how the fucking term "the beautiful game." I mean, what the fuck? What is that going to do with anything?
It was silly. Yeah. It wasn't.
The greatest respect to Pele, the greatest football player that's, well, I suppose he's the greatest in the world. The world has ever seen.
He's the greatest Brazilian player that's ever.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
3 World Cup wins. He's an absolute legend, and to fucking trail him out there and just talk to him about a conversation he had with 2 guys in Argentina.
Yeah.
Come to fuck. I mean, that's like. I mean, put it in perspective of wrestling, for example, right? Hulk Hogan. He's a household name in every country in the world, and they bring him back every now and again to plug the network that they have.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it seems to be like the only way. I mean, Pele doesn't need to stay relevant. You know what I mean? 3 World Cup medals. He can stick 2 fingers up to anybody.
Yeah.
But that's basically what they did. It's a stale conference, and they've tried to bring him out, and the crowd there, they're not there to see a football legend. They're there to get hyped about fucking the months faced September through to December. That's what they're there for. They don't want to see Pele.
Yeah, and I won't even get started on Drason Derulo yet, but but yeah, with EA, there was. I mean, you say it was stale. I don't think it was the worst one. I think Ubisoft had the worst conference. But what I will say, what I'll say is that Need for Speed looked really interesting to me. It looked like Underground 2. From what I saw, I don't know if anyone got that same sort of vibe from it. I thought Need for Speed looked like it was going back to its roots with the customization with the cars. And Need for Speed Underground 2 is probably my favourite racing game of all time. So I don't know if you guys felt the same way at all. By the sounds of it, probably not.
Well, I haven't really bothered with a Need for Speed game since Underground.
Yeah.
Just they've never really took my fancy. But one thing I wanted to ask you guys. See, when you were watching the coverage, the early part of the coverage, did you guys have a Spanish commentator?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember seeing it.
For the first hour, I swear to God, I was watching it on this new app that I had to download on the Xbox to see it. I was watching it through my Xbox, and the first hour, I couldn't hear a word of what anybody was saying because it was this Spanish commentator commentating over everything.
I didn't hear that.
No, I was tweeting about it. I was literally just fucking throwing things in my bedroom, and I'm messing about with the subtitles and all the options in this app, trying to turn this off.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it off. I just had this segundo, that kind of fucking nonsense. Like, shut up.
Another announcement with the EA was the Star Wars: The Old Republic. They're bringing out some new DLC, and I love The Old Republic, so. I enjoy EA to a certain degree.
Yeah, the Old Republic looks sick.
Yeah. I do like that game.
So aside from that, what did I miss whenever I lost my connection for a brief minute?
I was saying about the EA. Well, we're talking about the EA press conference, and I was saying that as much as you lot or you, I don't. By the sounds of it, you both thought it was flat. I actually like the look of Need for Speed as well. I thought it looked like Underground 2. It looked like it was going back to its roots. But
yeah, I think that the conference started off really good, finished really good, and then fell short in the middle. But I think for me personally, it was the fact that I was looking forward to Battlefront so much that nothing could compete with it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about your soccer game. I don't give a fuck about your basketball game. I don't give a shit about Madden. Fuck hockey. It's the same fucking thing every year. You don't innovate it whatsoever, except for NBA. They added like a face scan feature, which they tried 2 years ago, and it fucking sucked. Just give me Battlefront. I don't care about zombies getting shot by plants. I don't care about a ball of yarn running through the fucking forest. Give me Star Wars.
Didn't they do Mirror's Edge as well? Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, they did do Mirror's Edge. They did. And it looked really, really good visual-wise. I can't say much about the gameplay, but visually it looked phenomenal.
As soon as I watched Battlefront, and this is how excited I am, no other game after that I could even take seriously. Do you know what I mean? I looked at it and I was just like, nah, this nowhere near compares. No game could follow that game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was about like that myself.
I can see that, but there are a few things that I got hyped for a little bit later on in the day.
For the Sony one?
No, not Sony. I mean, I did get kind of excited about Sony, but Ubisoft. I think Ubisoft had a very, very, very good E3.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they probably had the weakest, personally, but
I just thought it was. I thought it looked good. Maybe. Well, then again, you were all about Battlefront, and that's the last thing you've seen before Ubisoft came out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, maybe. But then, I mean, is everyone finished with EA? Does anyone want to touch up anymore?
Like I said, I think Battlefront looked phenomenal. The whole lightsaber fight there at the end between Skywalker and Vader looked great. I was hyped about it, but other than that, outside of Need for Speed, the 2 Star Wars things, it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, I'm always interested in FIFA as well. So I mean, there was bits in the EA thing and the Old Republic as well. There was bits in that I enjoyed. So,
guys, you'll not believe what I've just seen on Twitter.
Go on.
Angry Joe played the Division. Unfortunately, it crashed. They said this was the first time.
They said it was the first time the Division crashed. How
ridiculous.
How odd is it that a game that has been pushed off and pushed off and pushed off has only crashed once against the biggest game reviewer on YouTube?
Yeah.
All right.
Awkward.
We'll touch on that in just a second, because we're going into Ubisoft now.
Excellent. Okay.
Like I said, I think that Ubisoft I think they had a very good conference. You're afraid you just said that you thought it was kind of...
Yeah, no, go on. Yeah, no, go on, explain, yeah.
But I thought that, I mean, they had their gimmicky Just Dance bullshit, which was dumb.
Yeah.
And then the expected Assassin's Creed thing. But the whole South Park thing got me excited because I love the Stick of Truth. That's just me being an immature 12-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And then For Honor looked really good.
Oh yeah, that's a game I'm looking forward to.
It looked really good, and then you had Rainbow Six Siege with the whole terrorist feature they added in, which I thought was great.
Mm-hmm.
The Division, and then I think what set this conference over the edge for me was the Ghost Recon game.
That's another one. That's another one.
Just the ability to do whatever you want to do in the game is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like you take a Tom Clancy game and then you intertwine it with Far Cry 3 and 4, and that's what you have, and it looks great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I must admit, I was disappointed not to see any Sam Fisher, but it's understandable. With Ghost Recon, Siege coming out. Obviously, everything's went into them. But I'll tell you what I was expecting when Jason Derulo came out. Halfway through his performance, I was expecting him to get assassinated. like some sort of some sort of like fake death, and then in the background just the three green lights just appearing. You know, the infrared. I was sitting with bated breath, just waiting, and Derulo going down in a heap of fucking fake blood, and then Sam Fisher in it. But nah, it didn't happen. Just wishful thinking.
That would be like a good way to introduce a game that's been gone for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, a guy that everybody loves to assassinate a guy that nobody likes.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you could have made that better is if it was Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
And he came out and garroted him.
This is my thought. Like, when I was watching the conference, the first thing that came to mind, why did Aisha Tyler look like she raided MC Hammer's closet with her parachute pants outfit?
Oh, she wore the jumpsuit. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Awful.
And she knocked back Jason Derulo for a dance as well. I just pissed myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was awkward, wasn't it? I mean, she's at every Ubisoft conference every year, and it's like she tries her best to be funny, but she's not.
No.
But she's just not.
She pretends that she's hyped about every game, and
she loves every game, and she plays them all, and she's got so many achievements on everything. No, you haven't.
Yeah. And I must admit, the big fail. See, when was it the Division? Was it that one when the four guys? No, it wasn't. What one was it? No, it was Siege, and the guys finished the level and they won.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, I watched those guys earlier on. I swear to God, that's the first time they've won." Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Shut up."
One thing though about Siege, Angela Bassett is actually in the game, which I think is great. I love that lady. For those who don't know, you ever watch American Horror Story? She is the three-boot lady from the last season, and the voodoo chick from season 3. For those of you who don't know who she is, I just love her. I think she's great. I think she's a great actress. She's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't big on the Ubisoft conference at all, really. I mean, South Park isn't for me. It isn't. I mean, I never played Stick of Truth, although I've heard very good things about it.
The Stick of Truth is
I've never played it.
It's a fantastic game. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I've heard very, very good things about it. I've never played it. For Honor, it looked like Rise Son of Rome to me. It just looks QTEs. It just looks exactly the same, to be honest. I mean, yeah. I mean, I do like them type of games if done well, but I just, hopefully they'll do it well. Maybe I'm just being a little bit cynical about it, but it just looked like Rise Son of Rome to me.
From my understanding, For Honor is basically a melee-only online game.
Right.
Which I don't know. It's either going to fall flat or it's going to be great.
So this is another game with no story.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know.
Gaming hates me.
They also showed new DLC for The Crew. Crew is a game that I still own. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I haven't played it since I think the day it came out. I mean, it just didn't make good. The story in that is terrible. It's I love the idea. I love the idea that it's in America and you can travel across a mini America. I love that. But everything else, co-op, co-op driving? I mean, really, what part of it is co-op apart from the fact that you can see people as you're driving past them? It's pretty ridiculous, that game. But that's another story. Anno 2025 or something like that. Did they? They announced that for console. Is that right?
Yeah, 2,250 or something like that. Anon. Yeah. I didn't get a whole lot from that. I was kind of confused as to what was going on when that happened.
I know about it. It's a PC game. It basically, I think you set up on a new planet. Basically, you set up a whole colony on a new planet, and you're supposed to govern it and build towns and build cities. It's Sim City, but placed on another planet in the future. So apparently, it's very, very good at what it does on PC. I've never played it again, but I would like to. It looks like a game I would play. Siege, you know my thoughts on Siege. For me, it's a glorified search and destroy. That's for me what I got of the beta or the alpha whenever I played. I didn't really take a lot from Siege. Ghost Recon for me looked like the best game that they announced. I'm looking forward. I am looking forward to the Division. Don't get me wrong, and how they done the whole twist and stuff when you're in the dark zone or whatever it was. I I really like that, and I like the idea that you can just roll with your friends, and yeah. I mean, I love all that. But
I'm gonna raid so hard when somebody, when somebody turns their back.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna be my greatest ever rage video. Things will get smashed.
So I'm looking forward to that, and I suppose to a certain degree, Assassin's Creed interests me purely because it's set in Victorian London. I love that era, like where the trains have started to come. Is it the Industrial Era or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Industrial Revolution. I mean, that really the setting of that really interests me, but I'm quite put off by the way that Unity was. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Like I said, Ghost Recon to me looks great just because it's a 4-player co-op game.
Yeah.
I love co-op story missions. That's why I like Destiny so much. We'll touch on Destiny very, very shortly.
Yeah.
But I think that's, I just want to go ahead and give my own personal award to South Park for the best title of the conference, The Fractured Butthole.
That's the greatest game title ever.
Yeah, that's...
The Fractured Butthole.
What are their names? What are their names? Is it Trey Parker?
Yeah, Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
They're just geniuses. The pair of them. Like, I haven't watched South Park since I was actually a kid, to be honest. I used to watch it when I was like sort of 10, 11 years old, and I stopped watching it. But I think that the ones that I have watched, it's sometimes very political, very near the mark, and very fucking cleverly written.
Yeah, it has to be.
That they are geniuses at what they do. I'll give them that.
But yeah, I just think that one's the best title. Also, craziest shit I've seen was the cat riding the fire-breathing unicorn with rainbows behind it. If that doesn't scream, give me dick now, nothing will.
It sort of screamed LSD to me.
Yeah, a little bit of LSD.
Which game is that? Was that Ubisoft, was it?
Yeah, it was for Trials Fusion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
But, that presenter as well. Enough of Ubisoft. I forgot to ask you guys. What do you guys rate Bethesda on a scale of 5? What do you rate them?
What, their conference and how they done?
Yeah, their conference.
It's hard to say. I mean, I'd give them a 5. I thought it was flawless, but
okay, I'll go with 5. I'd say 5.
Considering it was their first one,
yeah,
5.
Okay,
I really, honestly, don't like giving things a full marks. I really don't. But for the way that they presented it and everything that they presented, to be honest, it was just flawless.
With that being said, what do you give Microsoft?
A good 3.
Yeah,
no, but 3.5. I would say 3.5. But
I was going to say 4.
I'm going to say 3.5.
I'm going 4.
So we'll go 3.75.
A nice average, aye.
EA, what do you guys give EA? I'd give EA a 3.
I'd give it.
Battlefront.
Well, Battlefront, sorry.
Star Wars, the whole Star Wars thing, and Need for Speed.
That is so difficult because without Battlefront, it's probably a 2.5. But with Battlefront, it's a 3.5. Like.
Yeah, I'd say 3. I'd give it a solid point for Need for Speed, The Old Republic, and Battlefront.
Yeah.
Rabs, what do you say?
I would give it a 3.
All right, so we'll go 3.25.
Yeah, 3.25.
Ubisoft. What do you guys give Ubisoft?
I thought it was the weakest, but
I would probably.
You go first.
I would give Ubisoft a 4. I think they were better than EA.
Ubisoft, yeah.
And I know that's sort of hypocritical because I've raved on about Battlefront and such, but it's purely because Ubisoft showed more games that I would play. There was 3 games from their conference that I would definitely spend my money on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I know what you mean, but I won't. Yeah, I'm the same with EA, but I'd probably buy more EA what they announced than what I would the Ubisoft one. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to say 2.5. I think it was sort of mid-average.
Nah.
Nothing special. For me.
No mention of Tomb Raider.
No, well, they did in the Xbox one, didn't they? They showed you the whole QuickTime event. It was terrible. What they showed of it was awful.
Do you want to know what it is?
All right, I'm back.
They're trying to make Tomb Raider the Xbox version of Uncharted.
Yeah, they are.
But it's only a timed exclusive. It's not actually an exclusive forever.
Yeah, but
So what did we see with Ubisoft? I missed that.
I gave it a 2.5 because I think it was average. I thought it was very average. I don't think it was great, and I don't think it was bad.
Yeah, I give it a 3.5. Raz, what do you say?
I gave it a 4.
All right, so we'll go 3.75. 3.6.
3.6, yeah.
3.6. It's a little bit stronger than EA, but not as good as Microsoft.
Right, so we're going to talk about Sony. I'm going to break that down.
Yeah, well, we can talk about Sony. Before we get into Sony, because that's the big one, the last big one, let's talk about Nintendo really quick. I have very few things to say about Nintendo.
I have one thing to say about Nintendo. I watched the first 5 minutes and turned it off.
I don't even bother.
I literally watched about 10 minutes. I gave it 10 minutes. It was just weird. It's just they're just so.
I didn't watch it. I just looked online, saw they announced a new Star Fox, a new Zelda game, a new Metroid game, Skylanders, and they briefly touched on their next console, which, from what I've read, it's going to be a mix of the Wii U and the 3DS together, to where your gamepad is portable. You can play games on your gamepad while you're gone from your house, and then return home and then play on your TV. So it's basically, if you took the PlayStation and the Vita, mashed them together, that's what you would have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the Star Fox, I like Star Fox. Zelda's awesome. Metroid is awesome. Skylanders, I don't give a shit. So that's all.
I'm not going to rate that one because I didn't.
No, neither am I. Neither am I.
No.
Square Enix.
Square Enix. Now, I didn't actually watch their conference. Did they have a conference? Because I didn't actually watch it, but I do know what they announced. So.
Yeah, Just Cause 3, Hitman, Final Fantasy 7,
Just Cause, was
Kingdom Hearts. What was that?
Did you say Just Cause?
Yeah, Just Cause 3.
Did they announce that? I didn't know that.
And Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. Just Cause 3 has got a fucking wingsuit.
Did Just Cause 2?
I don't know. I never played Just Cause 2, but I know a lot.
I've got it on Steam, but I've never played it. So I thought it did. I thought it was all about like parachutes and shit.
I know it's got grappling hook and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a massive open world, isn't it? Apparently it's huge.
Massive.
But the real story from Square Enix, in my opinion, Hitman, Final Fantasy, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts has a huge fan base. Final Fantasy VII was probably the greatest video game of the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 era. Even though it was only on PlayStation 1, it was so good that it took space in the PlayStation 2, according to me. That's my opinion. And then Hitman looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought Hitman looked really good. What they showed of that, it looked like a really interesting story.
Especially the fact that there are certain people that are only in the game for a brief amount of time, and they're gone forever. You'll never see them again. But it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy. I mean, I've never played Final Fantasy 4 in my life, but I've never seen so many people go absolutely crazy over Final Fantasy 7 remake. Like, is it the best one? I don't know.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 was the best Final Fantasy game ever made. Everything else fell flat.
Anybody that's played Final Fantasy 7, I'm afraid, will tell you that is the greatest Final Fantasy, maybe one of the greatest games I've ever played.
I actually got goosebumps to it because I could imagine loving a series, and I do this a lot. I like to look at things, and I think, if I was really into this series, I would love that. And I've sort of done that with Final Fantasy. When I watched the trailer, it showed you the world, didn't it? It showed you like the town, the city, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Then it showed you the back of the person walking with that big fucking sword on his back. And I was just like, if I was into that series, that would be pretty fucking cool to see that. I have to admit. I do sometimes do that. And I felt like a little bit of goosebumps thinking, I can't believe like people are going to go crazy for this.
I'll put it this way. Final Fantasy 7 came out when I was 10 or 11 years old.
Yeah.
And I still remember
1999.
Was it 99? I thought it was 97, 98.
I thought it was 97.
I don't know.
Google.
Yeah. Someone Google that for me.
Final Fantasy VII come out in January 31st, 1997. So.
All right.
I was 10 years old.
I was 7. So.
And it put such an impact on me that at that point in time, that's when I decided that I was in love with RPGs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. The way that you didn't see the guy's face, all you saw was him walking along the street with this big sword on his back, and it's just like that is like it just looked like, you know, that is Final Fantasy, you know.
All right, so I didn't watch Square Enix, so I can't rate them. I can't score them. I don't know.
I didn't really watch it either.
Should we rate them on the games that they've revealed?
Yeah, we can do that.
You know, the quality of the games.
Yeah, with Nintendo, they had Star Fox, Zelda, Metroid, and Skylanders. To me, that's worth a 3.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even score that. I have no interest in Nintendo games whatsoever.
Like, I love Zelda and I love Star Fox. The last Metroid was terrible, and Metroid Prime on the GameCube was awesome. I'd be willing to give Nintendo a 3. I wouldn't go any higher than that.
Yeah, until Nintendo announced a Pokemon MMO RPG, I'm not interested.
Yeah, Nintendo. I
just wish they'd do that, like a massive like World of Warcraft Pokemon style. Go around, fucking collect a Pokemon, battle them against other players. That'd be fucking phenomenal. But they haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
they probably won't.
No, they won't. Pokemon is what sells their 3DS and their DS, and they're leaving it at that.
Yeah.
But as for Square Enix, I would give Square Enix a 3.5. Tomb Raider, Kingdom Hearts 3, which is highly anticipated, Final Fantasy 7 alone is worth a 3.5. The Hitman looked great, and Just Cause 3, which I've never played any Just Cause.
Oh, and don't forget they announced a new Deus Ex.
That's right.
Okay.
A new Deus Ex. That's a big series. A lot of people love that.
Yeah. I would give Square Enix a solid 4.
Yeah, I would. I think I'll go 3.5. I'll go the same for what they've announced. They've announced some really good games there.
Yeah, we'll do a 3.75. That's fair.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the last big conference of the day of the week.
I'm gonna rub my hands together because I'm gonna go to town with this one. But yeah, go on. I'll let you guys talk first.
All right, Sony. I'll give you guys the rundown. If you don't know, The Last Guardian is real. 6 years ago it was announced. There it is. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, they showed it off because of the exclusive gameplay. Not a big secret. Assassin's Creed always does that. Hitman was showcased. Final Fantasy VII. Then they had Batman was showed off, which looked phenomenal, but it was just a cutscene, so it might not be worth a fuck. I don't know. Uncharted 4. Apparently they forgot to pair the controller in the middle of Uncharted 4, and they had to restart the whole thing over. Then they had this game called Dream, which looked fucking weird. It looked like a Mr. Bill or any sort of claymation type thing. Horizon looked fantastic. No Man's Sky mixed on it. They announced DNLA, which is like distribution over local access network, to where you can stream movies to different devices in your house or your PlayStation, and then the TV service thing. But the big news was Destiny: The Taken King and Call of Duty DLC exclusivity.
Yes. Right, so should we talk about the other titles before we touch up on COD?
Yes. Yeah. Let's start with The Last Guardian.
The Last Guardian. Now, that looked amazing. Not a game I would probably play, but it did look really good. I really like the look of it. Just the whole art and aesthetic to it, I really like the look of it.
Yeah, one thing that I forgot, Shenmue 3, which I haven't played any Shenmue since like 2001 when it came out, reached its Kickstarter goal of $2 million in just 9 hours. And it is officially announced, today they announced it, that it is a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it broke a record, so that...
Yeah, yes, it did. So The Last Guardian, I think it looked decent. I thought it kind of looked weird, like in terms of visuals, but it looked like it could be a very fun game if that's the kind of game you're into.
Yeah.
Rabs, what do you think?
It's one of those games. Looks good. Anything I would say would pretty much just be repeating what you guys said. It does look like a fantastic game. It looks like it's well built, but you really need to have a passion for a game like that to play. I don't think I'll pick it up, but
100%. Is it a JRPG? Is that what it is, or is it like a?
It's kind of like an action adventure platformer RPG intertwined.
Yeah, because it's a Japanese game, isn't it? I'm sure it's a JRPG. Yeah. It's not a game that I'm going to buy. I'm not going to rush out tomorrow and buy that game, but I welcome it doing well. It looked really nice. I like the art style to it.
It's rent-worthy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it will discount worthy. If you can get a pick up on a discount or something, I'll probably pick it up.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, we already touched on it. They have exclusive missions in it. Same with Hitman. Exclusive missions, exclusive contracts. Final Fantasy VII, we touched on. Batman, is there really anything to say? The game comes out next week.
Is it next week, is it?
Yeah, it comes out Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Batman fan, but...
Oh, man, I fucking love Batman.
The Batman games are fun. Dream. Let's talk about Dream, because this game, it confused me.
Yeah, I don't get it. Is it like a... I think Microsoft announced something last year. I don't think it's coming. Is it Project something? What's that? It was a project game where you could create your own game and shit, and create your own world.
Yeah, I know you're talking about it. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's Sony equivalent to whatever. What is it called? Project? Not Red. What is it? Project. Oh, that's no. Project Spark.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Project Spark.
That's it.
I think it's the same type of thing.
It's the same premise. But I was confused by it. Like I said, I didn't get it. It's a very risky game. I mean, it's one of the things that you're either really excited about it or you're not excited about it at all, and it's either going to do wonders and create a lot of hype and you're going to make a ton of money off of it, or it's going to disappoint everybody.
Yeah. I think I'm on the one that I'm just not really that hyped at all for it. I didn't get it. I didn't.
No, I'm the same.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the appeal to it personally.
There is a game that I want to talk about which Beast didn't mention, and it was called Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I did touch on that. Yeah, I said that. That game looks fucking great.
I'm going to agree. That does look fucking great. That was probably one of the highlights, actually. I thought that it was like a very interesting looking game. Is it like an open world, is it? Or is it like a Tomb Raider semi-linear?
I'm not exactly sure, but to me it looked like a Turok dinosaur hunter from Nintendo 64.
But the dinosaurs are machines, right?
Yes, yeah. I guess the whole premise of the game is that the world took such a leap forward in technology, but the effects of technology on the world caused the world to disintegrate, basically, and deteriorate back to like caveman dweller times, and you have to scavenge the world, but these mech dinosaurs are trying to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like the look of it. I love that. I thought it looked really interesting to me personally. I looked at that and I thought, do you know what? I'd be really interested to even look into more information about it. I really like the look of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Raz, what do you think?
It wasn't really for me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I get it's like it's. I like the idea of the sort of the. What am I trying to say? Crossing the mixing nature with mechanical dinosaurs. The whole sort of hunting aspect of that. It's a fresh idea, which I suppose it can be commended for, but it's not something I would buy.
Yeah.
How about No Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky.
That's the planet game where you're in a ship, you go down the planet, and you have to destroy the planet.
I was pretty fucking impressed about how big that is and how many fucking stars there were.
I actually didn't see that game.
It's like you travel through space, and like literally, there's so many. There's thousands of stars, and apparently you could go to every single star, and it's got its own planets around each star, and you can go and visit each planet. It's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Yeah, it looks like it looks fun. It looks like a lot of fun actually.
I don't know how you can make it into a game. I think it looks like an exploring simulator. It didn't seem like there was much of a game to it.
The whole game itself is like going to like the planets to get different materials that you need, or destroying the planet and trying to stay alive. Basically,
it said something about there was battle scenes, weren't there? And then people were fighting over, or you're fighting other players, aren't you? Is that right? You're fighting other players.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's almost like an MMO, basically.
Yeah. Is it? Am I totally off topic here in saying that? Is it something like Eve?
No, I think that's accurate.
I mean, I've never played Eve, so I don't really know what it's about. But I think that's an MMO that's based in space, isn't it?
Yeah. No, that's accurate. Yeah. I don't know.
Eve Online or whatever they call it.
Yeah. I just don't know. There wasn't anything like I didn't read a whole lot about. Like a lot of this stuff was just shown to me, and I was like, I don't know what to think about it.
No, I didn't.
You know what I mean? Like Sony kept their conference like pretty well under wraps.
Yeah, they did. There weren't a lot that was sort of like released, was there?
So No Man's Sky, Horizon, Dream, Batman, Final Fantasy. We touched on all this. What about the whole TV service that PlayStation's launching with the PS View?
Sorry, say that again?
The PS View, the TV service, the pay per.
Oh, the free one. It don't apply to us. It's only in the States, isn't it?
I don't know, but I think it's a really good idea. The fact that you can only buy the channels that you want to watch, rather than have to have a package on your internet or your cable provider. I think it's a really good idea.
I didn't really look at it seriously, to be honest, because it was only in like 4 states, and then they opened it up in 2 more, didn't they, or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just taking off. I think it's a good idea. I think that.
Yeah, I like the idea.
At this point, they're just trying to innovate the console a little bit more to try to sway the people who bought an Xbox for the media aspect to hop on the PlayStation side.
I think the only exciting thing I could really say about the PlayStation View is that I like the idea of Machinima having their own TV channel. I quite like that.
Yeah, that is nice. Then the media player / DNLA, which is distribution over local area network for like videos. You can stream videos from your PlayStation 4 to any device in your house that is a DNLA server, such as DVD players, smart TVs, shit like that. Which I think that's nice, being able to do that. I just don't know what it's limited to. If limited to anything, they really didn't talk about it a whole lot. The majority of Sony's stuff that they wanted to talk about that were huge, I felt leaked.
Yeah.
Like the Uncharted collection, but Uncharted 4 looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, when they got a controller working, it looked alright.
Yeah.
It's a series that I've only played one of the games. I only played Uncharted 2 because I didn't really own a PlayStation 3 last year, and I had one, but I never touched it. It was like I used it really as a Blu-ray player. I never actually played games with it. All my gaming was done through my 360. So I liked Uncharted 2. I think it's I do think it's a good game. I've always enjoyed my time with it, and I'm looking for. I'll probably definitely pick it up. Actually, I'll probably definitely pick up, especially the collection. I want to play 1 through 3. I look forward to doing that on my PlayStation 4. So I probably will buy Uncharted 4. I quite like it.
I'll be buying the collection as well.
Yeah, just to catch up on it.
Yeah.
So Destiny as well. Should we touch up quickly on Destiny? Oh, is he gone again? Is it Beast? He's gone again. I'm sure. Jonas. No, Rabs, you don't really play Destiny, do you?
No, I'm not really. Destiny's not really my thing. I can understand. Sorry.
Did you buy it or didn't you?
Yes, I bought it. Unfortunately, there's something went wrong with the disc. My Xbox, it doesn't play in my Xbox anymore, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But but it's no, it's. I mean, I watched your videos, and you were sort of. I know you really enjoy it, and then I noticed that a few of my friends in the Xbox were playing it, so I jumped in a few times with them, and I played another 4 or 5 times, but I really. I'm no one. I'm no one for sort of the whole repetitive.
Grinding and the monotonous grind that you can get. It is quite monotonous. It is like when you. I never thought it'd be my type of game. Like if you told me, if you explained Destiny to me before the game release and told me exactly what it was, I probably wouldn't have bought it, right? But it's something that about it. I don't know if it's the gunplay. I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm playing with friends that I haven't played for since COD Modern Warfare 3 days. And they've given up with COD and we're all back on Destiny and we're all having fun together. I think that must be something to do with it. But Destiny as a whole, I do go back sometimes, actually most of the time, I can play on my own. There's something about that game that I just absolutely love, and I don't know what it is. It must be the gunplay, must be the randomness sometimes, and I bash on the random things in video games, but there's something about it, and it really pisses me off.
Well, as long as you're getting as long as you're getting your money's worth out of it, then I suppose
I've had my money's worth. I've put 400 hours into the game. Like this game is taken. I think a lot has got to do with COD not being very good. I think that has a lot to do with me being on Destiny all the time. But there's something about that game that I just fucking love. I can't put my finger on it. It must be.
Love it.
I do.
I feel the same way about Destiny.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Is it the way that the guns handle? Is it just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I think it's the predictability / unpredictability of what you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I bash on random things being in games, I don't like it. But with Destiny, there's some kind of something there that keeps you gripped. When you don't get your Galahorn one time, you think, "Oh, I'll try again next week and try again," and it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think that with Destiny, like early on, like leveling your person up to be able to get through the vault of glass.
Yeah.
Kept me playing. And then I got through the vault of glass, and that was the most rewarding experience I've ever felt.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it became, okay, well, I need to get my guy higher, so for the next raid, for the next raid, for the next raid, for the next raid. And it's like, that's what is the achievement that you get by doing something, and I think that's I don't know, man. That's all I can say about that.
It's like you think yeah, I need to level my character up and get him through to the next bit. So what I need to, right, so I'll make a new character and I'll have 2, and then you go through the whole story again with your second character, and then you do exactly the same thing, play the vault of glass again with your second character, and then all of a sudden you think, yeah, I need a 3rd character, and it's just like you've got 3 people who you're constantly juggling through, trying to get the best guns and dipping for it's just something about that game that is so addictive, and I'm really looking forward to the DLC, I have to admit. And it looked like there was a raid involved.
Yeah, there was a 9-minute video. I watched it this morning. 9-minute video where they talked about that there is going to be a raid.
Excellent. And Oryx and the boss, it was obviously Oryx, isn't it? And he's Crota's son. That's right.
Crota's dad.
Yeah, sorry, Crota's dad. Yeah, Crota's dad. Yeah. Because when he killed Crota, his name is Crota, son of Oryx, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I look forward to pummeling him. You got new special abilities, or new subclasses.
The Stormwalker for the Warlock, the Solar Hammer for the Titan, and the Void Restrictive Bow for the
Hunter.
Yeah.
The
Destiny DLCs. After what I watched today, the Destiny's DLC looks amazing, and I'll send you that link on Twitter.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great. I could sit and watch that.
Definitely. Yeah, it's like a 9-minute video, and they have the developers talking about everything.
Who is it? Deej? Deej?
No, not him. No, not him.
Oh, okay.
These are actually
community manager, isn't he? He's like the David Wonderhar of Bungie.
Yeah. He's the community fuck all.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that, and
So what do we say about Uncharted 4? I missed that. I lost everybody again.
Just said that I think it's a game that I think me and Raps both agreed that we would definitely buy the 3 games, the Uncharted collection, I'd definitely buy that before I bought Uncharted 4. I thought Uncharted 4 looked really good.
Uncharted 4 is like, I want to say like a February or March release. I think that's what they said. So we all agree. I don't know how Raz feels about the old Destiny thing because he's not on the Destiny train, but I think the Taken King looks phenomenal. Like I said, once I watched that video today, it might actually change Raz's perception. Now, I just don't know how much the DLC is going to cost. Is it going to be another like $20 thing? Are we going to get another $35 bundle, or are they going to charge us like a full $60 for this? Because it is a lot of content.
I would love to have seen them announce. This is obviously, again, something that I'd love to have seen them announce. Obviously, they didn't. But with the new season of Destiny, you being, like, me as an Xbox One player, having the ability to change it over to the PS4. All my progress.
Yeah, that would be nice to be able to do that.
I feel like I'm now tied into the Xbox One because of Destiny. Now, any DLC that comes out, I have to buy it on the Xbox One. I can't. It's not like it. Like when Destiny 2 comes out, I can't imagine you starting all over again. I can't see that being the case.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think it'd be a carry on with your character, which means I'm now constantly, for the rest of my life, tied into the Xbox One because I can't change. I've put 400 hours into it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I can't just, pack my bags and go, no, I'm going to the PS4 now, create 3 new characters. Do you know how long that'll take?
400 hours.
400 hours, yeah. Now I haven't got that sort of time or will to do it all over again.
But the thing is the Taken King comes out in September on PS4. There is no announced date for the Xbox yet.
That's true. That is true.
So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be like a November thing, October thing. I don't know. But it seems like Activision's contract with Destiny has carried over to Call of Duty.
It certainly has, and that is very interesting. That is very, and I've got 2 ways to view it. So we go on to COD, yeah?
Yeah, we're moving on to COD. Unless Raz wants to add anything else.
No, I'm quite happy to progress.
He's like no.
Yeah. Right, so there's 2 ways I look at this. I look at either Sony have done really well to get this contract, or I think Microsoft have done really well to lose it.
I'm going to look at this.
Does Xbox sit there and think, hold on, why am I paying all this money? This is a sinking ship. Is it worth my money anymore? I think they could be shrewd there to say, do you know what? It's not worth what it was last year. I'm not paying. They probably asked for the same amount as last year, and they said, no, the game's worth a lot less than that now. The franchise is worth a lot less than what it was last year. And they said, I'm not paying it. And Sony have stepped up and said, we'll pay it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I look at it like this.
I look at it like this. If Black Ops 3 is successful, it's a very good move for Sony.
Yeah.
If it falls flat, it's ultimately going to hurt Sony. And I'm curious as to see what they're going to do with competitive now. Is it going to move over? I mean, granted, MLG has their own contract with what they play. They have their own rule set and they're their own separate entity. But if PlayStation has the rights to COD, doesn't PlayStation and Sony have to present Call of Duty championships?
I don't know.
Because it was always COD Champs brought to you by Xbox.
Yeah, it's not going to be. Oh, COD Champs might still be brought to them by Xbox. They might still want an end to it. They might, Microsoft might still want to have that in COD Champs.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the details of the contract that they signed, but this is what kills me, and I put this on Twitter this morning, afraid not you were in the conversation. It kills me that all these people on Xbox are like, oh my god, we lost COD, this is so terrible, Xbox should we riot, blah, blah, blah. Like, motherfucker, shut up. You have mods for Fallout 4. You have fucking Fallout 3, Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2. You're getting all these fucking perks because they dropped Call of Duty and can pay this extra money now to other companies, and you're still crying about fucking DLC.
Yeah, get a grip, man.
What you'll find is a lot of them are kids.
They're all kids.
A lot of them are kids, and they're only crying about it because it's the popular thing to do.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you like how narrow-minded the gaming community and the younger generation is. If it's not Call of Duty, if it's not a first-person shooter, the game's shit.
Yeah.
Or it's if it's not Call of Duty, it has to be Minecraft. Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Like everyone's like, well, what does Call of Duty do? If you want my opinion on what competitive Call of Duty needs to do, they need to say, look, fuck you Xbox, fuck you Sony, we're going to PC because PC will show you who's really good and who rides auto aim and aim assist in game.
Yeah. Well, just do away with aim assist anyway, even on consoles. Just do away with that. If you're a pro, you should be able to handle it without aim assist. I'm sorry, but if you're a pro, you should be able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I just look at like the whole Call of Duty thing. I think Black Ops 3 looks decent. I don't think that it looks like it's going to be great. The movement's a lot slower from what I have seen, but it is the company showing you what they want you to see, and not them showing you what the casual gamer is going to do. However, the glitch ability where the dude jumped into the wall and then glitched behind the guy and shot him in the back of the head with his pistol, I thought that was epic.
That's the sole reason why I'm not buying it.
Yeah, and also Last Stand is back, but but I mean,
that is the reason I'm going to buy this game, just so I can do that to get rage clips. But no, I don't know, man. It's Call of Duty, man. Like it's so tiring at this point.
I actually up until this morning, I literally I've for the last 2 months, I've completely cut ties with COD. I'm just like, I'm not interested. Don't want to know. Whatever. Do you know what I mean? This is going to be shit. Like in my head, I'm thinking double jumps, thinking this, that, and the other, right? And for whatever reason, I walked into work this morning and I thought, do you know what? Let's be a little. I had a bit of an open-minded day. You know, you get them days and you want to take on everything, and you think, right, let's really look into it. So anyway, I picked Black Ops 3 of all things today, and I thought I'm actually going to sit down. I'm going to watch not the trailers. I'm going to watch actually people play it, and I'm going to see what my thoughts are after really like looking into a few different gameplays, whatever. And so it doesn't look as bad as I first thought that it was going to be. And that's the best thing that I can say about it. It's not worth, at this point, me going down, putting my pre-order down. I would never do that anyway, but do you know what I mean? It's not, I haven't seen enough of it to say that's a must-have. Okay? But what I have seen of it, there's a few good things, and I do generally think that the bad things still outweigh the good things. Now, the blink ability is going to be terrible. It's going to be so infuriating that they brought back Last Stand. So when you kill someone, they can respawn. It's exactly the same as the Warlock thing in Destiny. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But one thing which I did see, which looked quite good for me, the jumping isn't ridiculous. Which in my head, I'm thinking Advanced Warfare. It's not. It is like a Warlock jump. It's a slow glide. It's not like it's not bouncing around like you are in Advanced Warfare. It's literally it's like a little boost. It really is dumbed down. It's nothing like Advanced Warfare. It is you walk up, you see a ledge, and you kind of like just sort of float up in the air, like nice and slowly. It's like, so jump shotting is going to be pretty shit. I'll be honest, because you're just going to be hanging there, for everyone to see.
I don't want to say that jump shotting is going to be shit, because jump shotting could be very beneficial if it's just your standard jump and not like your, double jump. Like Advanced Warfare, the double jump thing, it got annoying really quick. I don't think it helped anybody either. I think it was just one of those things that you did out of like pure desperation.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's, like I said, Call of Duty it's tiring. I still personally think that Activision told them to stay on the course of a futuristic type thing, so when Ghost 2 comes out, it will sell because it's 100% boost on the ground.
Yeah. I still 100% agree with that. I think that is definitely part of their marketing thoughts behind it. But I do generally think when I was watching gameplay today, it did look like Black Ops 2. And I don't mean just the aesthetic. I mean the way the guns sounded, the way the maps were designed. It did look like Black Ops 2, which is good. However, if they have these jumps, right, and I was saying this earlier today on Twitter and various other things, I was saying, like, basically, if you've got 2 lanes, right, and you've got the ability to jump over what's ever separating them 2 lanes, we have a problem, because that generates no flow and chaos isn't good. So I need to establish, number one, if it is actually lane driven, so it's like Black Ops 2 where you have your lanes and you can control the lanes with long lines of sight, or just holding down the map and controlling the map. That is what for me makes COD fun. That is the whole part. That's the whole learning aspect of it. The more random you make it, the worse the game is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like Advanced Warfare, it's so totally random. You don't know where anyone's coming from. You don't know where to look, and you just like kill, die, kill, die. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now I'm going to say this. This is what I'm going to say about Call of Duty. It needs to be good this time because if you look at the market, you have Fallout 4 and Battlefront right at the same exact time. Literally within 7 days, both ways.
Yeah.
You have Doom coming out first quarter of next year, which is another first-person shooter. You have Rainbow Six Siege coming out, which is a first-person shooter. You get The Division, March 8th of next year, which is not really a first-person shooter, but it's a third-person game. The new DLC content for Destiny, Ghost Recon, Halo. There are so many new games that are shooter aspect and a ton of fun coming out within the next fiscal year. By next holiday, we'll say 18 months. 18 months, there are so many games coming out that COD could literally just lose itself in the current and no one would even notice.
Yeah. I mean, I could go out on a limb and say I think Battlefront will sell more than COD this year, purely because, and I don't mean this from a gaming aspect, I think Star Wars is going to be huge this year because of the film. Mm-hmm. People who aren't necessarily interested in gaming will still buy Battlefront. I guarantee it.
Yeah, because of Star Wars,
I guarantee it. And all people who aren't playing COD anymore will buy Battlefront. All people who play COD will buy Battlefront.
That's the big two. That's the big two for me. It's either going to be Call of Duty or Battlefront.
Yeah, and I think Battlefront will do very. I think in sales-wise, I think they'll do very, very fucking well. I do think that.
Assuming
it's going to be good.
Assuming that it works.
Assuming that it works, and there is exactly what in my head I think it is, which it looked like in the trailer. It just looked like the battle on Hoth, and it just looks so beautiful.
If I was to describe that trailer, I would describe it as mouth-watering.
It was. But it still had the typical DICE shout-outs in it. Oh, enemy, I've been suppressed.
I know, man.
So...
Help, I'm suppressed.
I think on that note, is there anything else anybody wants to add about Call of Duty or Destiny or anything like that? One thing, it just hit me. Destiny's adding 2 new game modes for multiplayer. One's called like Chaos or something like that. Literally, your super regenerates and heavy and special ammo regenerate like 3 times as fast.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks like a ton of fun. It's just you're going to get worn out by Nova Bombs, Titan Smashes, and Blade Dancers. But
that's the only thing for me that ruined Destiny. I took part in the Iron Banner last weekend or the weekend before, whenever it was, and I actually had
How
fun.
do you feel about Trials of Osiris?
I haven't played
How
it yet.
do you feel about Trials?
I played one game.
It's amazing.
And one of my teammates got booted, like someone I played with. I don't know why he got booted. He thought he got fucking DDoSed or whatever, but he got booted, and we just didn't end up finishing it. But with COD, I think that you're right. I mean, it has to be good this year. If it's not good this year, they are literally just going to be. Well, they're not going to sell, knowing it. I mean, there's so many games out this year that people are looking forward to. If you know anything about games, COD isn't the top really this year, I don't think.
No, and I'll go ahead and put this out there. Next week we have Batman coming out on the 23rd. Then on the 14th we have the God of War remaster coming out. August, there's the beta for Black Ops 3 is in August. Then in September we have Mad Max, Metal Gear Solid 5, Guitar Hero, or Tony Hawk comes out on the 29th.
Which looks terrible, by the way. I was really looking forward to that game.
Yeah, it does look bad. Rainbow Six Siege beta is September 24th. Then you have Guitar Hero Live on the 6th of October. The 13th of October, Rainbow Six Siege. The 20th is Need for Speed. The 27th is WWE 2K16. The 23rd is Syndicate. And then November you have Black Ops 3, Fallout 4, and Battlefront.
The big three in 1 month.
Yeah, and then that's not going into the January or February, which in February you have Uncharted 4th, February 12th. Let me look here. March, you have The Division coming out on the 8th. Then you have I don't even know. That's all I have written down at the time. But there's a ton of games coming out in the next 8 months.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Are we going to beat? Are we going to beat this year's 2015? Is it going to be better than the year of 2009? Because a lot of people regard that as one of the best years for games.
I think that
you had Fallout come out. You had Modern Warfare 2. I think one of the Halos, Halo Reach, come out that year. You had a lot of things come out that year, 2009.
I will say that if you take from this week of 2015 to this week of 2016 and make that your year, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
What do we give Sony? We didn't give Sony a score. I say they were a 3.5.
Yeah, I would give them about that as well.
Solid 4.
All right, so
solid 4, and only because number one, it's add Destiny, and I wasn't really expecting a lot. Horizon Zero Dawn looks really good. Final Fantasy is a point on its own, I think. I mean, not really me, but I suppose you've got to give it its point. Uncharted 4, yeah. I mean, it was very solid, and it showed Battlefront as well. So
we'll do this. I will give Sony a 3.74 because at the beginning of the show you said that Microsoft marginally beat PlayStation, and that is a marginally score to have in order to lose to Microsoft. So Sony gets a 3.74. Clearly, your dev winner was Bethesda this year. Microsoft gets the console. South Park: The Fractured Butthole gets best title of the year, and most anticipated game out of what was announced. I want your opinion.
What's that?
And that's how we'll end the show. Most anticipated title that has been announced.
Battlefront.
Battlefront.
Okay. Yeah, we'll all go with Battlefront. Battlefront gets the most anticipated award. Other than that,
like most look forward to, yeah? Because that is the game. That is what's marked on my calendar. That's where it's got a big fucking circle around November 17th.
Stars and fucking arrows and everything.
A lot. And do you know what? I might even go out and say I might even book that week off work.
Yeah, I'm going away to Portugal for 2 weeks. I've used up all my holidays. No!
I might even. I always save my holidays. I get 23 days a year. And I
still have 4 days.
I always save a week for COD, but this year I'm saving that week for Battlefront.
Yeah, I have 4 floating days that I plan on taking a couple off for some of these. I'm thinking that I'm going to take the week that Battlefront comes out. I'm going to take that Monday, Tuesday. Actually, I might take Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, don't forget Fallout's the week before as well. Fallout 4.
Yeah, that way I can play Fallout 4 Sunday and Monday, and then that night I can go get Battlefront and play Battlefront for 2 days solid.
Midnight release. I'll be going midnight release, definitely.
Yeah.
So if I don't pre-order games and they sell out, so I've got to go midnight release.
Yeah. So other than that,
the three of us just sitting in our pants playing our new games for fucking 4 days.
Yeah. I'm on diapers. I gotta put my diapers and shit myself.
I'll probably forget to eat dinner. I probably won't have a shower. It's going to be messy, all right?
Sitting in a giant shit bucket.
It's going to be seriously messy then. Well, them 2 weeks. I mean, if COD turns out, I mean, I need to learn a lot more about COD before I make a decision on that. But if skill-based matchmaking needs to be out, by the way, if that's in the game, that's a definite no. Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to put this out there. If this podcast gets, we'll just say 20 likes over 50 views, 20 likes over 50 views, I will go out and I will buy everyone those old people chairs that just have like the bucket. That way we can set that in front of our monitor for a week, and we will shit in it and piss in it and eat Doritos and Funyuns and all those other things that fuck up controllers while we play games for 4 days.
I'll tell you what we should do as well. If Rabs can pull a sickie or have a day off work. We should have a day somewhere between, like, maybe just after Battlefront's been released, and we should have a day where we just live stream all day. All day.
Together.
I like
Together.
that.
We all have to get the game on one console. That's the only problem, because I don't have my Xbox anymore.
Oh, no, get a PS4.
I've got PS4. I'm getting it on PS4 anyway, but yeah.
Okay.
If it's a game this year, I'm buying on PS4. The only game I play on Xbox now is Destiny, so...
That's what we'll do, and you guys will get to see me lag all over the place on a solid 3-bar connection. And
we could do it, like, if we have our Twitch streams, we could share each other's stream and all that. You know, you can host people now, can't you? So, it'd be pretty cool. Or we could do it on the same stream.
That's what we'll do then. That's exactly what we'll do. But, all right, guys, I got to wrap this up because I got to pack up everything in the hotel room. I got to get the hell out of here in 15 minutes.
And I've got to pack because I've got a stag do this weekend. Whoop, whoop, going up to Blackpool Rabs.
Oh, Blackpool! Whoa! I've got
stag do this weekend.
What I'll do is I will listen to podcasts. If it sounds like shit, we'll redo it next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Guys, we should probably say hello to Alex Hernandez, 49. He's commented saying that, unfortunately for me, I usually take the week off when COD is released, but I have to go to New York this year and take the wife.
Oh, no.
Commiserations, mate. Commiserations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
So, yeah. But, well, I just leave her at home, sneak out, get Battlefront, and jump on it with us.
Definitely. I can't wait, man. Battlefront, I can't wait. I'll see you guys on Endor or Hoth or Tatooine. I just cannot wait, man. It's going to be the game to play this year.
I know.
So excited. I've just got that feeling in me like I was a kid. You know that feeling I got, right? To be fair, I was so hyped for Modern Warfare 3. All right, it was a little bit of a disappointment when it came out, but before it, I was like, I love Modern Warfare. I love Modern Warfare 2. I can't wait for this game to come out, and I've got that feeling now about Battlefront, man. It's the first time since then. It's great. I feel like a kid again.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. I lost you guys for a brief second. What I said is I'm going to go ahead and listen back to the podcast when I have some time, and if it sounds like shit, we'll redo it next week.
Okay.
Just because I don't know how good this is done. I'm on a 4G hotspot, and I don't know if this is being hosted on a server, and if it's hosted on the server, then it sounds fine, but it might sound like shit because my headset isn't my microphone, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back in working order, I'm sure, next week.
Yeah. Yeah, next week we'll be back in proper working order, hopefully. But that's it for the podcast. If you guys like it, leave a like, subscribe to the channels. They'll be in the description below tomorrow. I won't have time to do it today, but yep, that's what we're going to do then. I'll listen back and we'll figure out what's going on.
Excellent.
It's been emotional. It's been fun as usual.
It's been emotional.
Yeah, this is the episode I was looking forward to the most, and unfortunately it kind of fell short because of the situation I'm in.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that. But anyway, again, we'll do it next week or whenever we have to if it sounds like shit. So, anybody want to plug away while I'm...
No, I'm just going to summarise. I think that E3 as an event was very, very strong this year across the board. If we take everything into consideration, I think it's very strong. We're looking for a big year in gaming, and I cannot wait until September onwards, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, I would say it's been one of the strongest ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
I
been
did
a
like
very...
the console release ones 2 years ago when they announced the consoles. I really enjoyed that E3, but this year is very, very strong.
Yeah, I agree. This is one of the best ones in modern time for games. It's the best one for games.
Yeah.
For games, not in terms of everything else, but in games, it's the best one there has been. And it was a fun week, man. I had a really good week, and it's not over yet. There's still shit going on. So
yeah, there is. It finishes tomorrow, doesn't it, or today?
Tomorrow, Thursday. Thursday is the last day. Yep.
I hope to see a lot more from PC. I'm looking forward to Overwatch. That's a game I don't think we really spoke about, but on PC, that's a game made by Blizzard that's coming out. It's going to be free to play. I think it's a first-person shooter. I think it's Blizzard's first one. I cannot wait to see more information about that as well. So.
Yeah, they had a PC show that kind of fell flat, and I didn't watch it.
Terrible. It wasn't like an event. It was like a talk show. It was terrible.
Yeah, well, to hell with that. It sounds like what we have going on here absolutely terrible.
Exactly. We might as well call this the E3 talk show. That's how.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
But all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. I'm gonna end the broadcast now, and like I said, I'll listen back to it. Hopefully, it doesn't sound bad. I don't know. If you guys have time and want to let me know, let me know.
Definitely.
But all right, and I'll broadcast.